What is up, everybody? You got Tone here, coach of your Maine Red Clawitzers, bringing you my team builder and battle for week 1 of season 4 of the National Pokeball League Minors. The NPL Minors are back in full swing, and we are looking. This season's basically come down to a season of, in my case, a bit of redemption after what happened in season 3. I already went into that in my draft analysis. If you guys missed that, that will be in the description down below, along with the links to all the coaches for both the minors and majors, as well as the Analysts team as well. So we're going to be kicking off this season against Fries and his Rotterdam Staraptors, which ironically enough we played week number 1 of last season, and we came away with a win on the back of Tailglow Manaphy. But this time there is no Tailglow Manaphy for me, and I do feel arguably that our teams did get better. We did draft a lot better team, in my opinion, as opposed to last season. We're kind of like in the motion, and we were like near the bottom of the standings in season 3. I went 2-5. Fries went 1-6, and I know we want to put those horrible records in the backseat and move forward with season number 4. So you see my team. If you guys missed my draft analysis, my team is on the left and my opponent's team is on the right. I also forgot to mention this during my draft analysis that my Z captain is Scolipede, and as you see, my opponent's Z captains are Electrode and Leafeon. If you're wondering why he has 2 Zmons and I only have 1, there's a rule in the NPL where it states that if you pick a Zmon and it costs less than 10 points, you can pick a second one, which is what Fries ended up doing with Electrode only costing 2 points, and a Leafeon's also 2 points. So we got those 2 as a Zmon. Then of course my Zmon solo peak was 14, so I couldn't pick a second one. So looking at the matchup, you see I feel as though the matchup is fairly even, with the exception of I'm really fearing Mega Gardevoir, because the combination of Psychic or Psyshock plus Hyper Voice really dents my team as a whole. Plus, it gets access to Focus Blast to decimate my Excadrill, which gets 2-shot even if I bring a specially defensive variant. And Ferniate can be problematic if I let it get its way. T-Tar can do stuff like Pursue Trap my Latios, set up rocks and all that stuff. Scizor can be detrimental to my Clefable. Well, otherwise it can be checked, but the checks I do have for Scizor can be you turn out on that. Glycer can be annoying as like a taunt. Stall Breaker, Goodra can be a pain for my Xurkitree, but I do have Tailglow and all that stuff. Gengar can be a threat because of I don't have the best. My Ghost Resist is Scrafty, which he can double out into Mega Gardevoir and becomes another problem. Blastoise is good for him, so he can prevent himself from losing the Spike Stack. Licky can Wish Pass, keep Goodra healthy and all that stuff. And then Electro and Leafeon I'm not really expecting, but it can be problematic. But I did feel as though I prepared the best combination of Pokemon meant to handle any combination of 6 that Fries brings on against me. So what I'm predicting Fries to bring, I'm predicting Mega Gardevoir for sure, predicting the Infernape, I'm predicting the Gliscor and the Goodra, because Goodra can check my Xurkitree, and I know the last thing he wants is to give my Xurkitree free Volt Switches. I can expect the Blastoise because he doesn't want to get while nothing on his team is weak to Stealth Rocks, he does have the last thing he wants is to get worn down by like Hazard Stack and whatnot. And as for the last Pokemon, it could be Tyranitar as a rock setter, Scizor as for like momentum, Licky for Wish Passing, but I'm honestly not expecting Electrode or Leafeon, but like I said, I did prepare for both of them. So with all that being said, I'm just gonna jump right into the team that I built for Frieslander, and the team starts off here with our Vaporeon. Oops, sorry about that. We have Vaporeon, the Calypso Vaporeon with a very standard Wish Protect, Toxic, and Scald. The EV spread is pretty straightforward. 188 in HP gives me a leftovers number. Max defense for the bold nature, take those physical hits better, and the rest in special defense to take special attacks like from Gudra, from Mega Gardevoir, stuff like that. So basically, its objective is to like go for Toxic, wear down Gudra, wear down Blastoise, makes it easier for stuff like my Circuitry to break through later, and then wish to keep the rest of the team healthy. Very straightforward in what Vaporeon needs to do for this team. Next up, we have our Clefable here. As you can see by my team, I don't have that many options for Stealth Rock other than Clefable and Excadrill, so go for the more safer alternative. We have Stealth Rock, Soft Boiled, keep it healthy. Moonblast is very spammable, and Flamethrower for that Scizor. The investment I have, max HP and 192 defense, prevents me from being one-hit KO'd by an Adamant Choice Banded Scizor's Bullet Punch from full, and the rest is put into special defense with a Calm Nature so I can take on the special attacks a little bit better for my Clefable. So Clefable's job is just very straightforward. Get up rocks, weaken things, Moonblast, and if I see Scizor, I can try to go for Flamethrower and try to catch it on the switch. But anyway, for the most part, Clefable's main job is to just get up Stealth Rock and nothing more. Pokemon number 3, we have Barong, our Assault Vest, Entei, Sacred Fire, Iron Head, E-Speed, and Bulldoze. As I said earlier, my team struggles in terms of switching in to Mega Gardevoir, and this is pretty much one of the things that came to my mind. I had to mess with my team a lot because initially I had stuff like Dragon Dance Scrafty on this team, I had Scarf Latios on this team, and props to Azar and Joel for helping me tweak this team a bit to make it more accommodating for stuff like Mega Gardevoir, which I thought I handled, but I didn't really have to switch in. So this is my response to Mega Gardevoir. I know Brendan's going to get on me because I always got on him for running like a bulky Assault Vest Entei, and here I am bringing the exact same thing. But like I said, it is my Mega Gardevoir switch-in. It takes 25%, around that 25% from a Hyper Voice. So we're running max attack, Adamant Nature, obviously because of E-Speed. 32 speed allows me to outrun Jolly Non-Scarf Tyranitar. With 200 defense, special defense EVs and my Assault Vest, I avoid being 2-hit KO'd by Mega Gardevoir's Psychic after Stealth Rock damage. So I can take 2 Psychics from Mega Gardevoir after Stealth Rock. If he Size Shock over Psychic, I am 2-hit KO'd regardless, but what can you do about that? If you, I'm honestly expecting Size Shock over Psychic, but just on the off chance he's Psychic Mega Gardevoir, I at least want to have this sort of switch in on the back. And plus, Entei also benefits very, very nicely from the Wish support from my Vaporeon, and the rest is thrown to defense just to mitigate, just to take those physical hits a little bit better. We can Size Shock Mega Gardevoir's damage just a bit. So now we get into the offense of my team, but this is mainly just here for a Mega Gardevoir check. First Pokemon for my offense, as far as my offense is concerned, my pure offense, we have our Scolipede, Protect, Mega Horn, Poison Jab, and Aqua Tail with the Wartorium Z, so I can fire off a Hydro Vortex to dent his Gliscor, dent T-Tar. I can click Hydro Vortex to avoid potentially missing with Mega Horn. Aqua Tail is also better over EQ because I figured hitting Gliscor benefited me more than trying to hit Gengar, and it still maintains coverage on Infernape and all that stuff. So we're max attack 240 in speed with a Jolly Nature, lets me outrun Gengar, which is his fastest Pokemon. My Scolipede can outspeed naturally, and the rest is just split between defense and special defense, because why not? Now for the other offense I had on my team. I knew like I said earlier, if I see T-Tar, it's definitely not going to be Sandstream, because I know he doesn't want to give my Excadrill sand turns to sweep him. Mold Breaker didn't make any sense to bring on Excadrill, because Mold Breaker didn't really help me with anything in particular on his team, so I brought Sand Rush just on the slight off chance he brought Sandstream T-Tar. But since I had a feeling he wouldn't be, I decided to set up my own Sand, which is why we have Swords Dance plus Sandstorm. But if I get the opportunity to get up a Sandstorm with my investment, with my speed investment, I outspeed everything up to a Choice Scarf Gengar in the sand. Swords Dance just for breaking potential, and then Dual Stab because everything on his team is hit at least neutrally between Iron Head and Earthquake, Adamant Nature just to increase the power of his attacks, and Smooth Rock over like Life Orb or anything because I don't want to make the if I want my Exeggutor to sweep late game, I might as well get the added 8 turns, the added 3 turns from Smooth Rock, as opposed to cutting my potential sweep short, and he can play around my sand turns. And then lastly, we have our Circuitry with Shuckerberry, Tailglow, T-Bolt, Volt Switch, HP Ice. We're running enough speed on our Circuitry to outrun his... I believe it outruns Jolly T-Tar and everything below that. We're Modest Nature and 96 special attack because max special attack Circuitry has 445 special attack. So, and Timon didn't really help me outspeed anything in particular. He could have been a speedy Gliscor. So figure run Modest Nature 96 in special attack, make it 446, and then have a lot more investment to add to my HP. So its job, set up a Tail Glow and try to break down stuff like Goodra and all that stuff. Shuckerberry, so I could take a super effective Earthquake from stuff like Gliscor. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the team. Hopefully this team is prepared. I hope I prepared enough for this battle. So yeah, that's going to be the team builder for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be right back and see how we do in the battle, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so here we are back with week number 1 of season 4 of the NPL Miners. The Maine Red Clawitzers taking on Frieslander and his Rotterdam Staraptors. Now looking at the team he brought, he decided to bring a team of Infernape, Mega Gardevoir, Tyranitar, Licky, Gliscor, and Blastoise. So a couple of things to note: didn't bring Goodra. I was relieved about that. He didn't bring Scizor, which is another thing I was relieved about. So Clefable is a little bit more expendable. It's not really expendable, but its job of getting up Stealth Rocks got a little bit easier. Judging by the structure of his team, I'm kind of predicting his Gardevoir to be like a Calm Mindset. He doesn't really need much in terms of coverage because after a Calm Mind boost, Psyshock has a chance to 2-hit KO my Excadrill, even if I was like max HP, max Spadef, like some sort of variant of that. He did bring Tyranitar, so it's looking more likely that T-Tar is his Stealth Rocker because I don't expect him to be Rock's Gliscor. It could be like a taunt set to prevent my Vaporeon from getting up a Wish, set to prevent my Clefable from getting up Rocks, and I expect him to Blastoise because, like I said before, he didn't want to get overwhelmed by Spike Stack. But his team is structured in a way that it can pretty much handle any kind of team, especially considering he drafted a team where no Pokemon is weak to Stealth Rocks. So that's pretty solid on Fries' part. Infernape, I don't know what the set could have been. It could have been Choice Scarf T-Tar or like a Choice Scarf T-Tar or Choice Scarf Infernape, but it looked, I'd start from a matchup standpoint, T-Tar made more sense being Stealth Rock. Licky was like a Spadef set to check my Circuitry. Blastoise was just here to make sure that spikes don't hinder his team. Gliscor, I'm assuming, is like a taunt SD set with Roost and Earthquake, which made sense because most of my team, I think pretty much my entire team actually, is grounded bar the Latios, which didn't really have a favorable matchup because T-Tar could have pursued trapped it, got rid of it, and then Gliscor fleet spams Earthquake. So yeah, In terms of a lead matchup for me, I felt as though my safest lead would have been Vaporeon, simply because I had a decent matchup against everything. If he goes into Infernape, the worst he can do to me is U-turn. He can try to close combat me for damage, but if he goes for close combat, I eat a close combat. He goes to -1 special defense, and then Skull takes him out. And I know he doesn't want to lose his Infernape. Mega Gardevoir can probably get up like a sub or something, or a Calm Mind. But I'm assuming more of a subset just to fear Toxic or anything like that. I don't really know. T-Tar, like I said, is probably Stealth Rocks. Licky Licky is looking like a wish set to keep stuff like T-Tar healthy. Gliscor, Poison Hill with like Taunt, Earthquake, Roost, something like that. And Blastoise is probably like a Rapid Spin Scald set. Like a very standard physical defensive Blastoise to check stuff like my Scolipede, my Entei, my Excadrill, which made the most sense. So we're going to go into his battle here. I'm going to lead off with my Vaporeon, like I said. But he's going to lead off with his Tyranitar. Fine by me. He does show the Unnerve, like I thought. I'm going to fire off a free Scald here because I lose nothing by doing so. If he goes to Blastoise, that's fine. He goes Licky Licky, that's fine. And I get the turn 1 Scald Burn, so that's great. So I figured I'd take the opportunity now that he is Scald Burned. I'm going to go hard into my Clefable here and try to get up rocks early. But he goes for a Swords Dance here, and I'm like, oh crap. Is he Facade? Is he SD Facade Licky Licky? I need to get rid of the thing immensely. So I go for Moonblast here, I get a crit, and the being special attack drop. He shows Return, and I'm like, oh thank God, he wasn't Facade Licky Licky. And I was like, I thought I just lost the battle right there because I burned him. But he's going to switch out, go into Gardevoir. Doesn't show Trace, which is fine. I go for another Moonblast. Don't get the special attack drop this time. But my response to this Mega Gardevoir is my Entei. So he's going to Mega Evolve here. I believe he just goes straight for a Psyshock this turn, if I'm not mistaken. No, okay, he just goes straight for the Calm Mind. He goes for the Calm Mind here. Didn't even think that I was unaware or anything, but I'm going to fire off an Iron Head. It goes into his Tyranitar, which does 41%. I don't know what his EV spread is. I don't know if he thinks I'm banded, but I'm going to switch out right into my Vaporeon. He decides to get up his Stealth Rocks, which is a solid play. I'm going to fire off another Skull. I go for a Scald here, but I decided to go for a Wish just in case. But he's going to double back into his Licky Licky. And I'm going to just fire off a Toxic just because I want to weaken the Blastoise for my physical mons. So I go for another Wish here, and he shows Wish himself. So I've seen Wish, I've seen Swords Dance, and I've seen Return. So I'm assuming his fourth move has to be either Protect or it has to be Earthquake. So I'm going to go into my Clefable here as he goes for another SD here. So I passed the Wish onto my Clefable, so we're back at full HP. So now it's just down to like me either going for Stealth Rock or me going for Moonblast, because even though this thing is burned, Licky Licky is still an immense problem for my team. So he gets another Swords Dance up, he's +4, but he is burned and he's not Facade. So basically that's my saving grace right there. So I'm taking the opportunity here to get up rocks. It wasn't really mandatory for me to get up rocks this turn, but the chip damage for my team on his team would be nice. So I just kept firing off a Moonblast here. He goes for a Wish, and I fired off a +4 Return, and that does 58%. So even burned Licky Licky is still becoming an immense problem for my team. So the next couple of turns here becomes sort of stall war, so to speak, between me going for Soft Boiled, him going for Wish, and then he eventually gets up another Swords Dance to get to +6. And now I'm thinking, well, Clefable's main job here was to get up rocks and weaken this Licky Licky. So now here he gets to +6, and what my objective here is, I'm gonna keep clicking Moonblast. I'm going to keep going back and forth with Moonblast. First, I want to gauge the damage and see how much a +6 Return does to my Clefable, and it shows that he does 80%. So if I go for a Soft Boiled here, I'm going to die to the next Return, no matter what. So I go for soft boiled here because I'm assuming he's gonna go for wish, which he does. So now I'm gonna go for moonblast and I'm gonna keep firing off moonblast here because the objective now is to weaken it and put it in range to where my circuitry can come in and click Thunderbolt. Because I want him to take out my Clefable. Clefable's main job was to get up Stealth Rock in this game, and it did. If he rapid spins them away with Blastoise later, that's fine by me. The problem right now is the fact that I need to get this Licky weakened. If I don't do that, I can potentially lose to this Licky even though it is burned. So at this point, I see that eventually after I stop soft boiling here, I'm just going to keep firing off a Moonblast. Because I'm going to get 2 KO'd regardless, and it's pretty much a losing battle. So I figured at this point, I had to go and just keep firing off Moonblast for damage on this Licky. And basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get him to waste turns. You see he misclicked here on the Swords Dance. He didn't mean to do that turn. He meant to either wish or go for a return to try to knock me out. So it's giving me a free turn to go for another Moonblast. I'm gonna just stop trying to recover here. Like it's a losing battle for me. So I'm just gonna keep clicking Moonblast, put it in range of Circuitry's Thunderbolt, and then go from there. So I'm gonna fire off another Moonblast. That's all the damage I needed to put it in range of T-Bolt as he finally takes out my Clefable with the return. So Clefable did the main did its job for my circuitry. So going directly into circuitry, I know he doesn't want to go into Gliscor because he doesn't want to risk predicting the HP Ice. So let's Licky drop to the T-Bolt as I get my Beast Boost, but it does give him a free turn to go out into Infernape, which is fine because the way he sent it in makes me assume it was Choice Scarf, just to counteract if I was Choice Scarf circuitry. He goes for the close combat, and that does 47%. So that's either a Choice Banded Infernape or he's Adamant. I didn't know at this point, so I'm going to just throw up a Protect first, just to get some leftovers recovery, as he decides to go out into his Blastoise. Take the Stealth Rock damage, and I'm going to go for Protect just to get back some leftovers recovery. Now here I have my choice of either going for a Wish or a Toxic. I decided to go for Toxic here. He misses his own Toxic, which sucks, and I hit my own. So because of that unfortunate turn of events there, I'm going to go for Protect first, just to get a little bit extra chip damage from the poison. He's going to fire off another Toxic, and he's going to, of course, I protect myself. Now here, I probably should have went to Clefable here on the second Toxic, but I decided to throw up a Wish first as he poisons my Vaporeon. So I go for a Wish, and the main objective here was trying to get my Vaporeon to full, because I still need my Vaporeon to check the Infernape. I still feel as though I could have dealt with the Tyranitar between my Scolipede and my Excadrill. So I go for a Protect, I get back to full HP. So now here I'm going to go for a Wish as he goes for Substitute, and I'm like, oh crap, now I have to get out of here. After I throw up my Wish, I have to go into my Entei, because Entei is my dedicated response to this Mega Gardevoir. So in comes my Entei, I take the Stealth Rock damage, and I'm hoping he doesn't attack me, but he decides to go for Calm Mind, and I'm like, oh thank god. So he goes for Calm Mind here, I'm back at full HP, I know I'm going to take a Psy Shock, or Psychic from this Mega Gardevoir. He goes for Psy Shock, does 74%, I'm going to fire off an Iron Head to break this thing sub. So now basically this turn came down to like a 50-50. Between me and him, because this whole time I was kind of bluffing the fact that I could have been Choice Banded. He doesn't know that I'm not. So basically it came down to whether I would Iron Head again as he switches out his Gardevoir. I go for Extreme Speed to try to pick off the Mega Gardevoir, which it does dive to E-Speed from this range, or I go for Iron Head, he stays and attacks me, and down goes my Entei. I didn't want to lose my Entei for nothing, and I felt as though that even if he went to Gliscor, it was fine. it was fine because I had Scolipede to offensively check the Mega Gardevoir. So I make the safe play, go for the E-Speed. Fortunately for me, he does stay in, and we take out this annoying threat in Mega Gardevoir. So in comes Gliscor now, and this kind of this kind of confused me in the sense that I was honestly expecting him to go into Blastoise here and go to spin away the hazards because my Clefable is gone. But since he went Gliscor, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, okay, is he EV to outspeed my Entei? Because I'm not running max speed. And it's basically a 50-50 here because I know he wants to get rid of this Entei, but at the same time, I'm clicking Sacred Fire 100%. And if he lets his Gliscor gets burned, of all things, that makes it easier on my Excadrill to set up not only a Sandstorm, but also an SD, because Earthquake then wouldn't kill my Excadrill because he's burned, and he would also be robbed of the Poison Heal damage from the Toxic Orb. So since he's allowing me to get off free damage on this Gliscor, I decided to take it, go for Sacred Fire. It does 45%, but I don't get the burn. So he wins that 50-50, and my Entei is going to drop to the Earthquake. But Entei did its job in checking and dealing with the Mega Gardevoir. It does allow me to go out into my Scolipede here, and here I didn't want to use my Z move right away because I feel he still had that Blastoise, so I decided to go for the safe Aqua Tail. It didn't do much. Here I could have stayed in, but I didn't want to risk taking a Scald. Getting Scald burned by the Blastoise. I could have went for Mega Horn, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have killed. So I went out to my Vaporeon. He just goes for the Rapid Spin. So I'm like, oh man, I just missed out on potential 35-40% to the to this Blastoise. And it probably would have died to toxic damage anyway. So I'm going to throw up a Wish now, trying to play damage control. He reveals Mirror Coat, so I'm like, okay. Now I see what his set is. He's shown Scald, he shows Rapid Spin, he shows Mirror Coat. And the fact that I don't see leftovers on this Blastoise, it makes me believe he's Wakanberry for the Xurkitree. To live a T-Bolt, retaliate with a Thunderbolt. Retaliate with a Mirror Coat and take out my Xurkitree. So that's basically the whole idea. So I'm gonna win this exchange between the Vaporeon and Blastoise, but in retrospect, what I should have did here was I should have switched out after this. So he goes into Gliscor here. He's gonna go for Roost, and I'm just gonna click Scald. In retrospect, what I should have did was I should have switched out into either my Excadrill or my Xurkitree, because those two are the most expendable at this point. I don't know if he would have shown Roost, but I decided to stay in and get a little bit aggressive with my Vaporeon and just kept firing off Scalds, which was good for checking, for keeping the Gliscor low, but because of the toxic damage, I'm losing my response to the Infernape. So basically, with me sacking off my Vaporeon like this, I can potentially lose to Infernape, which basically I didn't think about because I still had Scolipede. I still had a chance to set up a Sandstorm with my Excadrill. So here I decided to play damage control, fire off the Hydro Vortex, and take out this Gliscor. So Gliscor is down here. All he has left is the Infernape and the T-Tar. Goes on into Tyranitar here. I'm hoping that I don't miss a Mega Horn. And we don't miss Mega Horn, as Tyranitar is going to drop to the Mega Horn. Now it comes down to the Infernape versus Scolipede. And this is basically what the batch came down to, which sucks here because I have no choice but to click Aqua Tail. If I miss Aqua Tail, I lose the game because the rest of my team is slower than Infernape. He clicks Flare Blitz 100% because I lost my check to the Infernate. So basically, I have to hope and pray he is not. I don't miss Aquatail. That's basically what it came down to this play. I didn't want to waste my Z move on the Glyster because I thought it would be in range of Aquatail, but it turns out afterwards that it definitely was not. It would survive on like 10%. Or not even 10%, more like 3%. It was essentially a roll in his favor. So I had to go for Aquatail and hope I don't miss. That's basically what it came down to. And we connect the Aquatail, and he lives on 9%. However, he is not Fire Punch, he is Flare Blitz. It takes out my Scolipede, but the recoil takes out the Infernape in response. And we are going to start the minors season with a 2-0 win over the Rotterdam Staraptors. So first and foremost, a very, very good game to Frieslander. He brought a very, very solid team against me. I think from my perspective, for the most part, it was played pretty solidly. The only kind of questionable play was letting me go for Sacred Fire on the Gliscor. I don't know if he meant to do that accidentally. I didn't ask. I think what he meant to do was go Blastoise, because if I had like I said, if I essentially burned Gliscor on my Entei Sacred Fire, I could have went for Sandstorm first, killed the Gliscor with Iron Head because Earthquake wouldn't have killed me. I went for Sandstorm, and if I have the opportunity to live a second Earthquake, I would go for SD, then click Iron Head on Gliscor. Iron Head or Earthquake the T-Tar, and then EQ the Infernape, and Exegir would have swept. So the 50-50 ended up working out for him in that exchange, but nonetheless, we do take a 2-0 win over the Rotterdam Staraptors. Like I said, I really thought Licky Licky was Swords Dance Facade. If he was Facade Licky Licky over Return Licky Licky, I 100% lost, because I would have had to play that around that so much, and that was just a pain in the butt. Not gonna lie, I was sweating bullets when I saw him go for SD, and I'm like, yeah, I lost. And the next thing you know, I saw Return, and I'm like, okay, it's a little bit more manageable now. But nonetheless, we do take a 2-0 win. We start the season off on a positive note. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for the battle. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, because we still have 9 more weeks of the minors to go. I also encourage you guys to check out Frieslander, and his channel will be linked in the description down below, so check out his side of this battle. It was one intense way to start the season, and hopefully this is a sign of good things to come for us as we look to make a run at the playoffs. It's still early, but starting the season out with a win is very, very nice. So anyway, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until the next time, guys, my name is Anthony, aka Tone. I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side. Later.